Encryption isn't for secret agents or reporters or criminals. It doesn't really matter who you are. You don't want somebody sifting through your life. I don't think governments and corporations are evil. The issue is that nobody can be trusted with that kind of power, because at some point, the wrong people will gain control over it. And at that point, free society is in a lot of danger. And this really wasn't as much of a problem in the past, simply because monitoring communications at that scale just wasn't possible. If I were under investigation for something or under surveillance, somebody could bug my house, my office, things like that, things that you would have to do 50 years ago. The difference today is that the tools exist to monitor everybody all the time, no matter what they're doing. If I said that everybody's home should be bugged, should have listening devices so that we can make sure nobody commits a crime, nobody would stand for that. Nobody would stand for a requirement that you be surveilled every moment of your life. With huge amounts of our lives moving online, nobody should stand for it online either. There have been many debates recently about weakening encryption, which essentially is code for putting a backdoor. There is no encryption backdoor that can be branded with, a UK flag or an American flag that only certain governments can use it if you trust them. It doesn't exist. If you mathematically break encryption or if you weaken it, what's going to happen is either enemy nation states or criminal gangs or other unsavory characters are going to use it. There's no such thing as an encryption scheme where only the good guys can use it. And the consequences of weakening encryption are far greater than the consequences of giving everybody encryption. What we wanted to do really was create something as easy to use as regular email that was secure by default. What we did was adapt essentially existing email encryption technology known as PGP and make it easy to use for regular people. I think the big companies, they see the writing on the wall. Thus far, I think the big players in particular have not necessarily made very many fundamental changes. You're not their customer, you're the product, right? You're the product that gets resold, whether it's to advertisers or other data brokers. What privacy is to me is you control who has your data. If you want to have an Instagram feed or a Twitter feed and put things out there, that's fine, but you control it and you make that choice. And it's not a choice made for you by somebody else who you never authorized to have that information in the first place. It's clear now that privacy is in ascendance, which is extremely good news. And I just hope that it continues to grow and that we reach a state where the internet is really for people rather than for advertisers or for cyber criminals. Unfortunately, that's too much of the case today. Maybe it's the cynic in me, but I don't think the mission will ever be done. That doesn't mean that I will never do something else, but I'm exactly where I want to be.